Oh yeah, we had some real good ones there. At one time we were working on some metal buildings, and I was inside nailing plywood to the wall. I think it was for the Air Force. It was going to be a communications building or something. And I was inside. Well, guys, horsing around, you know how guys are. So they slammed the door and nailed the door shut and put a 2x4 across there or something, going to nail me in. And I heard them nailing it, what are you going to do? So I just went ahead and stayed in there, and I'm finishing nailing. We already had the sheets up, and you had to go around and do all the nailing for the sheets.
I mean, the most heavy fire I had, I went to Da Nang one time when I was up at the quarry. One of the chiefs that up, this friend of mine, he had a friend at the air base down in Da Nang. He was a Marine supply sergeant. So I went down to pick up some parts for one of our rock crushers.
And we provided mortar support for the Marines. And the Marines told me that was the quickest response mortar support of any unit in the area, so they all wanted us. These were illumination rounds that lit up the place, just so they could see where to go. And one night, we had a new lieutenant. His name was Jack Klimp, the Marine lieutenant. He'd graduated from Annapolis, went to Quantico Infantry School, and then came right over to us. And he knew all the right terminology. He'd just been to school. Well, the Seabees and the Marines had worked out this procedure that worked for, 5, 6 years.
So I'm in there, bang, bang, bang. Of course, it didn't help with that door being shut. It made everything echo. Bang, bang. Well, I didn't hear it, but there was a mortar attack. and this boom, boom, and I couldn't quite hear it, And then I heard the air raid siren go off, so I quit hammering. And all of a sudden, I hear whoomp, I hear this incoming rounds, and I go, golly, and I started running out the door, and I bounced off the door, and I what? And then I remembered, man, they got this thing nailed shut.
And so I went over to the air base to see Sergeant Bosworth, my friend's friend. So he said, why don't you spend the night over here? We went to the club and had a few pops, and he said, you just spend the night with us, So we're in the air-conditioned barracks and all that stuff, at the air base. And they rocketed the air base that night.
So he was out there somewhere, and he needed illumination, so he calls back fire concentration 12 or whatever it is. So the Seabee sets it out there, and it goes beyond where the Marines are. It's out of range. So the term, when you bring a round back, when you're correcting fire, you say drop whatever. So he says drop 100, drop 100 clicks on the adjusting thing, which would be 100 meters, I guess, back toward the tube. So it is drop 100. Seabee never heard that term drop, so he drops the tube 100 clicks, which is that makes it further out.
I backed up and I gave that the best, hardest kick I could and busted knocked the board loose, and actually ended up knocking a hinge loose too. And but it didn't matter. When I come running out of the building, well, the rest of the squad was all out there they had a little mortar pit. They're going, oh my God, run, squirrel, run, And I got over and got in the pit, and then shortly after that, a mortar went not right in that room, but it went out in the hallway. But if I would have been in that room, I would have been hamburger, I'll tell you, because it splattered. We had to go in there and tear stuff down and rebuild it. I think that one particular building, we had to redo it I think it was 3 times, if I'm not mistaken.
And so, of course, I had my flak vest with me and everything else, and as soon as the rockets started coming out, I just rolled off onto the concrete floor. And I had my flak vest, and I said, Bosworth, where's your mortar pit? He says, are you on the deck? And I said, yes. He says, do you have your flak vest over your head? I said, yes. He said, you're in the pit, man.
So then the next call from the Lieutenant Klimp is, drop 200, drop 200. And so they clicked it down another 100 and lobbed around. The Seabee says, I can't drop it anymore. We're just skipping the roof of a hooch here. It's just coming. So one of the Marine radio men out there, he says, what you trying to do? Hit Da Nang? Just 7 miles from it. So the next morning they had a class in mortar terminology with the new lieutenant.